In the middle of Ohio, there's a sports car course with hills, valleys, keyholes, and China beaches, apparently. We're here at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course for the ChampCar iRacing Series in 2025. This is the official sim racing competition of the ChampCar Endurance Series, with great racing, great camaraderie, and some great prizes on the line as well. We're coming to you live on HJBC and ChampCar Live. David Haynes with Devin Peters and Michael Derby as we look forward to a 1-hour race in the Global Mazda MX-5 Cup car. It looks like a pretty damn good day for racing. Beautiful temperatures, partly cloudy, just a tiny bit of breeze out there as we look to take on the 2.2-mile road course with 13 turns, 1-hour race with a compulsory pit stop ahead of us. And Devin, it's getting to crunch time in the championship.
Yeah, round 10 of the series today, and that hasn't stopped 34 cars from showing up to take the grid today. It's going to be an exciting battle out here, and these MX-5 Cup cars, they know how to deliver, and this is the perfect kind of track for them. You know, you can see them going over the hill, coming down, sweeping through the back half of this track that is nothing if not exciting, and it's narrow enough that it's hard to pass, except when you're driving just the tiniest car.
Yeah, it's a very popular car, a very popular circuit as well. So in combination, great racing abounds. Qualifying's underway right now with just 5 minutes remaining. And that will set the grid for our 2-wide rolling start when we begin the 1-hour race shortly. At the moment, the championship leader, Michael Polasek, up top. Fouad Al-Rijay. I've never read that before. I've said it just then, so I've probably said it wrong. They make up the front row of the grid right now. Jared Collins, Joshua Soto behind them. Oh, and that moves. Soto moves himself up into third, so some improvement coming late in this qualifying session still.
Yeah, Fouad, a late arrival, not to the session, but to the league. He only signed up today, but he's already making a name for himself out on track.
Incredible amount of congestion in the keyhole there as drivers are getting around. I certainly see one of the drivetrainer cars. I see Tim Wire. I see Ian Giebler, who's 7th in the qualifying right now. Kyle Robertson's 8th. And this is the longest straight on the circuit. Got a little bit of a corner in the middle of it that's absolutely flat out. And then this is the biggest braking zone and overtaking opportunity of the lap. Cameron Sennhauser is facing the wrong way, unfortunately.
He's apologized, but everyone is having to take some evasive action, like you said, and it's definitely going to be a factor. These things are unstable when you push them.
As Kyle Robertson pulls out of the way, he's currently 8th.
Ooh. Oh, and we're seeing all over the track just all kinds of different lines being taken as people try out different things and different maneuvers, find the limits of what's possible.
Is it a holiday up north? Because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Canadians on the grid.
Just a regular old weekday here, David Haynes, but you know, always a good day for racing.
There's also a number of the drivetrainer motorsports guys that fly the Jamaican flag and respond to me if I talk about cricket. So that's how you know they've got real bona fides. But yeah, a couple of Canadians on the grid as well. Some other weird flags. We've spoken about this before.
How many Australians, David Haynes?
0. Not well. No, actually, let me take that back. Joshua Soto's flying the flag of Antarctica, and per one of the 1960s treaties, that's like 12% Australian. We're claiming our little sliver of king penguins and whatever else happens down there. Emperor penguins, even. Or as they say in Spanish-speaking countries, penguino emperador.
Only penguins we get to have up here are in zoos, unfortunately, so they're my favorite, though. Bonus points to whoever shows up with a penguin livery in the next race. I'll be watching.
Or the tuxedo driver suit, something like that. Alex Harrison through turn 1. Very quick. You just got to touch that curb that protects the pit exit from the racing line. A unique layout there underneath the bridge and through turn 1. And then that undulation through the keyhole hairpin sometimes lends itself to some different lines in different cars. Jared Collins has jumped up to second. Now he's flying the flag of the USA, but his dad Kevin Collins also we've seen and in the race flying the flag of Latvia. Interesting to see. Woods goes down the inside of the keyhole. And where's Bill Woods find himself at the moment? 21st. So definitely seeing there is still some movement in this qualifying session late on, including Joshua Soto's improvement, Jared Collins' improvement. Jared Collins is in fact just behind Bill Woods at the moment, so he's not going to improve anymore in qualifying. A lot of other cars are parked, like Cameron Senhauser, Sean Fritz, Andy Kosick. Definitely one of the people I know for sure, and Ohio local. Joshua Soto, despite the Antarctica flag, is traditionally a Floridian, and he's one of the first drivers to take the line after the checkered flag is displayed. So no improvement on his final lap. Best he'll start is 4th. Bill Woods won't improve there either. Through the carousel, he finds it's more like a mechanical bull ride.
Yep.
Mechanical bull's got to be popular in Saskatchewan.
We got plenty of the real things, though. You don't have to go looking for a mechanical one.
Oh, so do we. I saw Queensland's biggest bull the other weekend. Buster is 3,000 pounds.
Ooh, that's a big boy. Did you try to ride him? That's what the fans want to know.
No, it was a very, very lazy bull. You'll be surprised. It was eating.
You got to keep the weight up, you know.
It's got a prize physique to maintain, and don't we all?
That's, because not all of us can be hungry bears. Just a few more trickling across the line. And with that, qualifying will wrap up.
Yeah, no one left out on track. No one looking to improve. Just a couple of seconds left in the session before we'll go directly into the 1 hour race. Every driver starts with the same setup on the car with 4.3 gallons in it. So it will be a one-stop race at minimum. The weather absolutely gorgeous. Those just little clouds about, no rain expected whatsoever. Something we have had and might have again, but by chance, a beautiful weekend. Of course, the weather for this relatively closely matching what will be expected on September 8th when the ChampCar Endurance Series visits Mid-Ohio. That's the date that I've plucked into the iRacing forecast, and it said this is probably what the weather might be like, and fair chance of that, I'd say. So looking to the grid as our drivers line up for the formation lap behind the beautiful Ford Mustang FR 500S pace car. Michael Polasek, the championship leader, is on pole. Jared Collins starts alongside him. Fouad Al-Rijleh starts third ahead of Joshua Soto by just a tiny fraction there in qualifying. Ryan Puchtel is fifth with Tim Wire in sixth. Ian Giebler seventh, Alex Harrison in eighth, Kyle Robertson ninth, and Kevin Glass is at the top 10. Johnny Sartorelli is going to start from 11th with Ryan Carwile in 12th. Cameron Senhauser in 13th. Sean Fritz in 14th. Andy Kosick 15th. TJ Yankee 16th. Trenton McMillan 17th. Sebastian Day 18th. Aaron Brown 19th. And Bowie Suin 20th. Bill Woods in 21st. There we go. Logan Senhauser in 22nd. Orlando Herald 23rd. Kevin Collins 24th. Matt McGee in 25th. Aaron Reed in 26th. Jeff Rockwell in 27th. Scott Grinnell in 28th. Kyle Guillory 29th. And Sean Roberts 30th. Grid continues with a couple more drivers. Sean Nicholford, Brian Tidd, Steve Hermé, and Cindy Pickett, all setting qualifying times. That's 34 Mazda MX-5s joining us for the ChampCar iRacing Series at Mid-Ohio. As they pull away from the grid, Michael Polasek has not, and now he does, so he's got a tiny bit of catching to do on this pace lap. He'll be able to do it. The pace car speed is 55 miles an hour. Polasek is the championship leader. So this is the point standings at the moment as we approach round 10 of 12. Michael Polasek, 350, leads Jared Collins and Ryan Puchtel in a close 1-point fight. Second and third. Kyle Robertson then in fourth from Ryan Carwile. Bill Woods, Tim Wire, Alex Harrison, Aaron Brown, and Ian Giebler complete the top 10. It's close between just about everyone except Michael Polasek. He is on a winning streak and he looks set to continue that if he can here at Mid-Ohio, starting from the pole position. Through the final corner with an hour on the clock, the pace cars a couple corners away from the final corner actually, and then it'll pull in, and then 60 minutes begins when the green flag waves.
They're going through Thunder Valley, but it sounds a little buzzy to me.
And the iRacing blimp is up in the sky. The Goodyear blimp is from Ohio as well. There goes the pace car. Here comes the green flag, and here comes the racing for the ChampCar iRacing Series at Mid-Ohio. Decent enough start there from Jared Collins on the outside. Cold tires for everyone. Big compression is going to lead to skittling a couple of cars through turn one. Out into the outfield goes Tim Wire and Al-Rijleh.
Yeah, tough one there. A couple other bits of contact throughout the field, but everyone else manages to keep it pointed the right way. Aaron Reed is a victim of the first corner there. Looks like he'll be taking an early pit stop. And you see Al-Rijleh there, just gets tangled up on the inside and goes for a ride.
The race lead, the slipstream, already kicks in the first time on the main straight. Michael Polasek, though, still leading Jared Collins. Joshua Soto up into third. Kyle Robertson picking his way through the turn one chaos and up into fourth ahead of Ian Giebler.
Yeah, and
just
it's busy
2.2
all over the
miles.
track.
The laps click off quickly here.
Trying to keep an eye throughout the field, a little bit of action deep down the grid as Fuad is trying to pick his way back through. But he's finding his way. That's the car of, oh shucks, and it looks like another one got caught up there. Cindy Peacock turning across the nose. We have another one hitting the pit lane. It looks like Matt McGee, one of the Canadians, is going to be taking the pit lane early too.
Yeah, we've had a couple of damaged cars early into the pit lane. Leading group compressing a little bit. You had Michael Polasek leading the race, but now Jared Collins leads, and the gap between that top three and the rest of the field has shrunk. Kyle Robertson not so far behind, leading Ian Giebler and Ryan Puchtel. Sartorelli 8th, Kevin Glass 9th, Cameron Senhauser completing the top 10, but it's a pretty unbroken train most of the way through here. You're looking at some moves. Like Sean Fritz has just a little bit of overlap down the inside. And Sebastian J, we're going to be side by side over the crest of the hill. It's where a lot of the fans gather, is right there. Great viewing from the hill.
It does look, I guess, not that surprising that drivers are having a little bit of contact. Like we were saying in the pre-race, it's a little bit tough to make an overtake here. But the front end of the field is looking a little bit familiar. Jared Collins leading with Michael Polasek and Josh Soto kind of lurking behind. Those two definitely know the fuel game that tends to play out with our one-stop races here in the ChampCar iRacing series.
So it's 2 laps completed. Jared Collins leading, and as he's first over the line, he's the first to set the new fastest lap of the race.
Next pack of 3 has a couple familiar faces as well. Kyle Robertson running in 4th place, Ian Giebler 5th, and Ryan Puchtel in 6th. The 3 of them are catching up quickly as the lead pack is doing its fuel-saving thing. We even got a couple more hanging on the back. Johnny Sartorelli is just trying to hang on, and I think he gets my vote for paint job of the day, running the Planet Express livery. I like it. Looks good too. You really get a sense of the cars going over the elevation changes there, turn 5 and coming into the S's. Track that forces you to stay ahead of the corners, really.
Highest to lowest point, it's not massive here at Mid-Ohio, but it just follows every little bit of the landscape, and there are a few corners that from the driver's perspective just drops a little bit, or you don't have perfect sight lines into every corner. And that's just a little bit of the charm and the challenge of the place. Jared Collins will lead another lap, but Michael Polasek behind him will set a new fastest lap of the race in his pursuit.
Well, and for folks thinking that this looks like a good time, don't forget that September 6th and 7th, ChampCar is going to be here in the real world, putting a whole variety of cars around this track, running that 8 and 7 hour race. Aaron Reed's under a little bit of pressure from Sean Roberts as they squabble over 18th place. Roberts dives around the outside. Get a nice overtake in the middle of the pack. A couple more going on behind him. That's John Nicholford holding off Scott Grinnell, who tried to make a similar move. And that's really kind of the place to make a move on this track over there at the keyhole.
Sure is. So now we'll go side by side in that biggest braking zone. You see how much weight transfers onto the nose of the car as they slam the brake pedal.
Jeffrey Rockwell creeps up right behind him too in that white and black car. We got the long range lens on that camera.
So a couple of big movers, as we say. Brian Tidd, 14, Sean Roberts, 11, John Nicholford, 10. Interesting in the middle of the field what could come out of all of this.
Yeah, the top...
oh, well, that's not a big mover.
Yeah. Shucks, who's that?
Scott Grinnell.
And so after he and Nicholford were having that little battle, it ends up in tragedy. See if we can catch it here. And Grinnell just does it all to himself. But really shows you how challenging the final corner is and how final... Ooh, and a big contact there too. That was Jeffrey Rockwell who went straight to the pit lane.
Might have struggled to find his pit crew as well. Here's Rockwell. Just clips it wrong, but sends him straight into pit entry. So there's that, but I'm not sure it's been entirely healthy for him. Or Scott Grinnell.
Meanwhile, from about 7th place through to about 17th, they've really stacked things up. I'm just watching this battle, just as chaotic but cleaner so far. Kevin Glass is chasing Cameron Sennhauser at the front of this pack, but they're nose to tail all the way through. You can really see the variety of lines that are possible in some of these corners.
Yeah, some of that because of the elevation. Another car will head to the pits. It's Alex Harrison. It's quite an early stop, but maybe he's looking at that pack and thinking, I just want to do something different. There's not a whole lot of other free real estate around here. You've seen even the leaders are not far away from catching a little bit of lap traffic in some places. It's a quick lap around here.
Yeah, Harrison did have a top 10 qualifying time, qualifying in 8th place. So after a little bit of early shuffling, found himself deep in the pack and maybe decided he didn't want to have anything to do with that.
And this is the race leading group. Still Jared Collins leading the way. Still the pole sitter, Michael Polasek, sitting in 2nd. Joshua Soto sitting in 3rd. As they sort of run in that line, the drivers behind are trying to keep up with the pace. Kyle Robertson doing so successfully. Ryan Puchtel just a couple of car lengths further back, maybe at risk of dropping off the leading group. Ian Giebler as well. And then there's about 2 seconds between Ian Giebler there in 6th to Johnny Sartorelli in 7th. It's a lapped car behind him. So Sartorelli's in his own little no man's land now, and it's Cameron Sennhauser leading a group in 8th. This group, Sebastian Day, Kevin Glass, Ryan Carwile in the Virginia Tech livery. Sean Fritz in the legitimate racing livery, a car that they will be bringing to Mid-Ohio, I think I heard. Aaron Brown in the chocolate snack food livery. Don't look up how many brands of snack food Mars Food own.
Yeah, tragic stuff.
And pasta sauces and dog food. Interesting. Quite the portfolio. And don't get them confused and feed M&Ms to your dog.
Yeah, it's a bad time. Leader Cameron Sennhauser is getting calls from the middle of the pack to and I think the whole pack's getting a call to line up and go from the middle of it. I'm not sure they're gonna heed that warning. They've been all over each other. Oh, and a little slide there from Kevin Glass, loses some time. And they're too wide behind him. That's Aaron Brown in the aforementioned chocolate candy livery. TJ Yankee is closing the door at the back of that pack on Logan Sennhauser, who's trying to make a move. And they get real close together there, but make it work.
Aaron Brown's certainly been trying to work his way through this pack, but to not a whole lot of success. And that's how these packs end up operating is, you know, you pull out a line to try to overtake, but then you're out of line and the car you're trying to overtake is getting the slipstream off another car that's getting the slipstream off another car. And you sort of, once you're out of the train, can hurt your momentum a little bit. And Pocktel goes and lays down a new fastest lap of the race from 5th place. That's interesting to see. So this pack, that surely they're just trying to catch Johnny Sartorelli, who's in a little bit of the no man's land between this pack for 8th and the group that Jared Collins leads for the lead. And to see that Ryan Pocktel in 5th is going quicker suggests that that leading group might be just compressing a little bit. He was able to flex his muscle and close in on that top 4 and close the couple of car length gap that was forming.
Sebastian Day's giving Cameron Sennhauser about the biggest push you can down the back straight here, but it hasn't been enough. And Kevin Glass is right back up on him again after having nearly a second going down the straightaway between them.
They got their hands up and they're pointing forward, go, go, go in this group. And for Cameron Sennhauser to give his all once again. And do you know what? They did catch Johnny Sartorelli on the last lap, and they do catch him by a couple of tenths on this lap. So they're achieving their wish a little bit at the moment. Of those that have pitted early, as I covered off, everyone starts with 4.3 gallons of fuel in the car. Those that pitted early can continue to make it. So Alex Harrison's the highest running car that has stopped. There's a pack that's formed of drivers that stopped after lap 1 that's led by Bill Woods with Trenton McMillan, and we know that Fuad Al-Ridgely is quick. Tim Wire and Orlando Harrell are also battling each other just a little bit till Harrell's been off the circuit and got himself a slowdown. So he's going to drop back behind Tim Wire. But that's the progress of those that have stopped. Now, everyone's still running that hasn't made their pit stop yet. It's doing enough pace that you're not worried about them getting super undercut. In fact, that's a little more than just cutting a little bit of the grass.
Yeah, that's gone poorly. But he must have knocked off enough to where there's nothing else left to fall off, because he's not got a meatball. Ooh, he's decided to take it to the pit lane anyway. Hard to see the apex with all that hood damage.
This is Wire and Harrell's second time to the pit lane, so yeah, it's going to take a bit of fixing. You can see that immediately they jumped on the hood, but they didn't find a spare bumper quite as quickly. So, goodness, I worry that those two may have even come together. But Alex Harrison took on a fair bit of fuel and sits 56 seconds behind the race leader. I don't think he's undercutting the pace that Jared Collins is currently laying down, but he does have at least a little patch of Mid-Ohio of his own.
Well, and as we've seen, there's not a lot of breathing room out there.
Now this is Day and Glass, and Ryan Carwile's going to pick and choose who he's going to give his bumper assistance to. And it looks like he's going to help out Kevin Glass, try to leave Sebastian Day out to dry.
Oh, this is tough. Too wide over the hill. Really good stuff, though, between Carwile and Fritz. Carwile's going to be on the dirty side of the track, but he'll have the advantage coming over the crest into Thunder Valley. I wouldn't say this is the fast way through there, though. Oh, and it's a traffic jam. Oh, a slide on the inside as they hit the curb. That was Fritz up on the curb, and Carwile's going to get the edge. They're 3 wide in the back for a moment. Everyone's
side by side through multiple corners. Yeah, Ryan Carwile gets ahead. Aaron Brown finally gets one of those positions he was after. fractures this pack significantly. Cameron Sennhauser is out of here. Kevin Glass and Sebastian Day have cost each other a little bit of time, and Ryan Carwile and Aaron Brown are lost a little bit. Sennhauser has gotten up to Johnny Sartorelli for that 7th place as well. Something to keep an eye on amongst all of this.
Yeah, a little pointing and a little bit of motivation went a long way. All of a sudden, Cameron Sennhauser found about 3-4 tenths a lap.
So 7th and 8th place, they've got lap down Tim Wire in front of them. That car in between as well, I think. I didn't pick which one that was. This is the leading group. It's a group of 6. Still Jared Collins from Michael Polasek, from Joshua Soto, Kyle Robertson, Ryan Puchtel, and Ian Giebler.
Usual suspects running together up at the front. Big winner in the group so far is Kyle Robertson, up 5 spots from his starting position in 9th. I think managed to steer clear of a little bit of drama between Harrison and Wire on the opening lap. They really show you how precise you have to be around here. Very similar lines through some of these tricky corners. And then the top 10 battle comes into focus as they fan out going into the keyhole.
Seemingly never-ending battle between Kevin Glass and Sebastian Day. Glass ahead of Day, but Ryan Carwile has closed up behind them, bringing that next group to reform this a little bit. The only person with a successful prison break was Cameron Sennhauser by the looks of things, and he does get by whatever his traffic was, which was going to be pretty important to him. No cars between him and Sartorelli anymore.
Yeah, he overtakes Matt McGee there, and he's pressing hard. McGee's got another lap car, Tim Wire, just ahead, but Wire was fast, qualified 6th, right, as we said, so honoring the Salem's car, unfortunately doing it a lap down.
Under the bridge through turn 1. Everyone always kicking up a little bit of the grass on the exit.
And this is the perfect warm-up for this track, especially for some of these teams showing up next weekend.
Two seconds for 6 cars up front. Jared Collins has been leading the way most of the time since about lap 2.
Yeah, he's been holding them off. Hasn't seemed like he's under a lot of pressure, but these Miatas don't have the same fuel tanks as those GR86s do, so the window for refueling is a little bit smaller, and making sure you save enough is going to be critical to getting the quickest pit stop. And I bet you if we listened on board to the guys running 2nd, 3rd, 4th, we'd hear pretty big lifts going into some of these corners.
Here we go with Michael Polasek. You don't even need to hear it, you can see it. That's what Polasek's up to. His normal game. Aaron Brown is going to make a pit stop. So he's out of that pack that we had been monitoring around 8th place.
Yeah, a bit interesting. Meanwhile, that pack is all out of sorts now. Just things were way backed up going into the keyhole that time.
A lot of positions dropped for Sebastian Day, so now it's Ryan Carwile trying to harry Kevin Glass. And Sean Fritz is missing his front bumper. Logan Senhouse has got a tiny bit of damage on his.
Ooh, and tries to slam the door a little bit there. That's Sebastian Day right on his rear bumper now.
And this is where it all began. A couple cars up from this in the carousel.
Yeah, it looks like it. Coming into turn number 1. We'll see what happens here. Looks like they just go too wide, going down into the keyhole. And things get all kinds of checked up. Maybe a missed apex.
Not sure that's it. Sean Fritz has come in, though, to pit lane, and he gets a new front bumper.
Yeah. All the horsepowers they've got in these Miatas, they are affected by that body damage.
And Aaron Brown's pit stop appears to be still ongoing. It's a surprise to me. I just looked, and Alex Harrison's still the highest running car that has made a pit stop. I take that back. Andrew Kosick is just ahead of Harrison.
So some moves there.
Sean Fritz will come out just behind them. Top 19 cars running haven't stopped yet, and then Kosick in 20th, Harrison 21st, Sean Fritz in 22nd, just ahead of Cindy Pickett, who hasn't stopped yet. Al Ridgely in 24th has. Tim Wire in 28th, the highest running driver to have stopped twice. Not what he would have wanted, though.
Yeah, it's not so much the tires, it's driving around with the extra fuel that gets you in these things. The track's starting to get a little dirty out there. I'm starting to see guys who are offline just eating rubber, speaking of the tires. Cameron Senhauser and Johnny Sortarelli are starting to get close together. They're still squabbling over 7th place, just behind this lead pack of 6 that our eyes are on. Things are still very calm and controlled up here at the front. Meanwhile,
Logan Senhauser leading Sebastian Day and TJ Yankee over the crest of the hill, immediately back downhill. This is one of the more flowing sequences. One corner leads into the next, just a little switch back over this crest.
That was Kyle Guillory getting it all sorts of wrong. He rejoins safely, though. Car doesn't look like it's handling quite right, though, right now.
About 2 laps from the halfway point of the race, still Jared Collins leading. Logan Senhauser pitting. Got an increasing number of drivers making stops, but not our top 6. Going to get some new tyres there as well, is Senhauser.
Yeah, and starting to see a little more disorder out of this group. When Soto starts pressing Polasek like he is right now, you got to think that maybe we're starting to come to the minute. The right time for a pit stop. Because I think that's as close as I've seen Soto to Polasek, starting to put the pressure on.
Ryan Buchtel's just behind Kyle Robertson very closely there. Ian Giebler's dropped just a tiny bit back.
Interesting difference if you get a look at their brake lights going into the corners. Seems like Soto prefers like a more tapping and kind of aggressive style on the brakes, whereas Polasek seems to prefer having a bit smoother of an input, one brake per braking zone. Could just be that Soto's pushing so hard he's getting a little offline here and there and having to correct. Still running a solid pace at the front end of the field. 36 is last time by. 36.4 for our leader. Not far off of that qualifying pace, especially now that they've put 17 laps on the tires.
Yeah, just a little pace improvement from the top three that Kyle Robertson's got to go with. Ryan Buchtel not really struggling to go with Kyle Robertson by the looks of things. Ian Giebler, though, might struggle now. He's been disconnected from the group. It's a top 5. Once that sort of lifeline is severed, difficult to get it back, especially as Jared Collins continues to hustle.
Yeah, and putting the pressure. Oh, and he gets a little wide, does our leader, but he slides, catch it just on the edge of the shot there, slides a little bit and gives a little up on the entry to the carousel, and that'll put Polasek right back on his rear bumper. They're getting more and more aggressive on the curb into turn 1, almost grabbing the inside edge of it.
You ever run down a ramp or a set of stairs and you grab the handrail on the inside of the corner to, you know, get more cornering speed?
You know, buddy.
Feels very much like trying to hook one of your inside tires through turn 1. Battle of our drivers who have made their pit stops. Andy Cosick and Alex Harrison. Harrison's been closing Andy Cosick over the last couple of laps. Stephen May and TJ Yankee in the pit lane might resume close to or ahead of this. No, I think these guys have got them. But they're, you can see them just there in the pit lane. I think Harrison might have this.
Yeah, our leaders are coming back past the pit entrance again. See if any of them decide to make the move this time. A lot more controlled through the final corner is Collins. But a smaller gap that time too. May have missed his best opportunity on the last lap when he had about 8 tenths.
We have crossed that halfway point with 29 minutes left to go.
That's Stephen Hermet's lapped car coming out after his pit stop. And I guess he wasn't lapped yet. This is a fresh lapping.
So the leading 5 go through. Ian Giebler still stays about 2 seconds back and behind them.
Yeah, he'll have seen that lapped car and have been wishing that it managed to slow him down a bit, but Hermetz does a good job of managing it. And who we got on the pit lane here? That's Sebastian Day. Looks like he's taking a couple tires. And when we were noticing earlier that car that was handling a little funky, I can't remember whose it was. He was freshly out of the pits with 2 tires. So I'm wondering how the 2-tire strategy feels once you do it in practice.
34 seconds, just a tiny bit on the long side compared to what everyone else is doing for Sebastian Day. Now it's our top 14 that haven't stopped. Oh, but Ian Giebler will change that from 6th place.
You can't beat him. Bit early.
I'll get in trouble if I'm wrong, but he might also be an Ohioan. Oh, and here comes that next group too.
Big pack of them all of a sudden coming to the lane. Got Kevin Glass, Cameron Sennhauser, Johnny Sortorelli. Someone's missed their pit lane by a lot. That was Johnny. He's backed up through 2 boxes to get back stopped. That's really a classic Planet Express kind of parking job, though.
Giebler in and out. And significantly ahead of Cossack and Harrison. By no surprise, it's that next drivers that you got to wonder how close they'll be. Carwile.
Oh,
Kevin Glass, black flag, speeding?
could very well be. Meanwhile, at the front of the pack, we've had a big change. Josh Soto's managed to sneak his way past Michael Polasek when we looked away. So you got to think that he's starting to think pit stop time and wants to be the first one into the box. Oh, and they do. A couple of them, go to the pit lane, but there's a lapper going in. That's Trenton McMillan. And he's made that entry a little bit challenging.
So Collins and Soto win. Polasek stays out, inherits the lead of the race with Kyle Robertson and Ryan Puchtel following him. A 2-3 split in the top 5, heading for their pit stalls towards the pit exit end. Fuel going in. Right side goes up for Collins. Whole car stays down on the ground for Joshua Soto. Now a bit of
Right
left side for Jared Collins.
Very
And still
interesting.
nothing for Joshua Soto, who's going to pull away and still perhaps be behind Collins.
Wow. So at least 2 free tires worth. So maybe only 2 or 3 lug nuts. I don't know. That was really close, though.
You're suggesting a torque wrench played no part in that.
Everyone knows you don't torque a hot wheel, Haynes.
I've seen people smarter than me do it, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's a great idea.
I've finished a race with a car that's got 3 lugs from doing that, so. On the one wheel, anyway. So Polasek can hit the lane, yeah.
Yeah, and he had about a second on Robertson and Puchtel because of second and third place. Well, first and second actually pitting. Okay, so he's managed to pull a little bit of gap on those other drivers, and now he's got to have a quick pit stop as well to match Collins and Soto into their respective pit stalls. Goes everyone. What's Polasek's decision vis-a-vis tyres? It's left sides by the looks of things.
Yeah, and left sides only because they go right left. So he's thinking he doesn't have long to stay stopped. But he kind of does. He's going longer than most.
Yeah, because Puchtel's moving. Jared Collins is going to jump him as well. Michael Polasek's going to be 5th because this is the battle for the race lead at speed. Jared Collins goes through. Joshua Soto tries to follow him. Ryan Puchtel ends up in 3rd. Kyle Robertson's 4th. Michael Polasek is 5th. Ian Giebler 6th as Sean Roberts is going to pit, and he's, I think, the last car to pit will be Sean Roberts. 23 minutes to go. Everyone's made a pit stop, and Jared Collins leads.
There's going to be some inconvenient lap traffic in the way, too, of Michael Polisek, because he's going to try and make a charge back up to that lead pack. But right now, the lead pack looks like it's 3 drivers deep.
Well, if the Polisek winning streak is going to continue, he's going to need to pull out some magic, which he might yet still have spare in his back pocket in this closing stint of the race. Jared Collins, Joshua Soto, Ryan Pucktel, 3 super quick drivers are our top 3, and they are linked up. Then you've got that little bit of space to Kyle Roberts and then a little bit of space to Michael Polisek. You would never rule it out, as with 15 laps to go, Michael Polisek is only 3 seconds behind the race lead. But it will be interesting, no doubt. On board with Polisek in 5th.
And he's watching Orlando Harrell. Take evasive action. Harrell was putting some pressure onto Kyle Robertson there, and I thought it was going to be even more of an ordeal. Now he just has to pass 4 guys for position if he wants to keep that win streak alive.
Got to pull out his very, very best laps from here on out.
And a pretty good outlap there from Collins, 36.8. Sorry, that must have been a race lap. Never mind.
Yeah, it's still better than Joshua Soto. So you've got different tires, tire warm-up, all of that going on now. I think we saw Polisek only take left side tires. Collins looks like he might have gone 2 rears.
Possible. Unconventional, but...
Well, you end up with a very pointy car if you went 2 fronts, and I don't think he got 4.
You want to be able to drive these things, and it feels tough to me, but who knows? Guess you got to put that little bit of Miata power down too.
Michael Polisek's caught Kyle Robertson. Robertson's lost a little bit of time, and Michael Polisek is going to go through into 4th. I think Kyle Robertson thinks, if I'm going to catch the lead, I better not hold up Polisek. I better try to run with the championship leader, who's on a hot streak of race wins. So that simplifies things a little bit for Michael Polisek, but he has lost tiny bit of time. You can tell that the top 3 are pushing incredibly hard. It's personal best laps for Jared Collins and Ryan Pucktel, so the pace is on. If they were holding back a little bit in the first half hour of this race, they've mostly got to unleash it in this final 20.
Yeah, that's those are quick ones, but critically, no one is quicker than Ryan Pucktel with the 36.0 last time by.
So I think we saw Joshua Soto took no tires, and he might be struggling for that. He's going to drop back into 3rd place as Ryan Pucktel goes past him with the pace that he has to try to pursue Jared Collins in the race lead.
I do also wonder if there's a close situation here on how many laps we're going to do overall. Because if Polisek's fueled it for 1 extra, there's a chance that, that we could go there. Right now, I've got 12 on the estimate. We'll see if that matches up to the timer when we get a little closer to the end.
Yeah, always a little bit of a question in these timed races of, based on the pace, exactly how many laps are we going to get? That's come up a couple of times before. Jared Collins, though, his race lead, 0.8 of a second. Ryan Pucktel appeared to have the pace last laps, made some moves. Might have the pace again. So the whole top 5 go over the line. 36.5 for Collins, 36.3 for Ryan Pucktel, 36.9 for Joshua Soto, but a 36.29 for Michael Polisek. And he needs to keep that up just to keep taking tenths of a second out of the top 3. And Kyle Robertson not exactly easily going with Michael Polisek right now.
Well, in our first time out In the MX5, Collins was a third place finisher. He's been pretty strong in it throughout the season. Second place finish in the 5th round. And a third place finish again at Barber, our most recent MX5 round. So he definitely knows his way around a Miata. Maybe this dark horse is going to put on a show for us today.
Got to keep the pace up if he's going to keep away from Michael Polasek, and indeed if he's going to keep away from Ryan Pucktel or Joshua Soto. Sun's out. Track temperature's just been slowly rising over the day. Does make that 36 flat from Ryan Pucktel pretty impressive. Pucktel's got to keep that up. 9/10 of a second back. You got to be closer than this.
Yeah, he's got to push, otherwise Collins is going to run away from him. Not the only ones battling for position. 9th place with Andy Cossack and Alex Harrison is also getting a little bit spicy. That's Johnny Sartorelli you're seeing in 10th running behind him, or 11th you're seeing running behind him too. 3 cars with great paint jobs, duking it out, trying to stay in the top 10. This will be another battle to watch as we come towards the end. Harrison having stopped really early relative to the rest of these guys. Deciding to opt out of that battle, strategy that seems to have worked early. He gets close to Andy Cossack, but ultimately decides to lift off.
I think Cossack wants Harrison to lead and Harrison won't, which is surprising to me based on Harrison's pit stop time. Don't know how patient Johnny Sartorelli's going to be back there for the whole time.
Too wide. Cossack's going to take it. Or, sorry, let Harrison by.
Yeah, there we go. That's what they were waiting for. Fodell Ridgely gets past Sebastian Day.
Yeah, making a good recovery drive after that instant on lap 1. Got him way out of position. Just been picking his way through the field. Speaking of picking their way through the field, our leaders are about to have to do some picking their way through the field as they're coming up on the lap traffic ahead here. And just in time for the course to get a little bit twisty. Looks like Kevin Glass and Matt McGee not racing with each other strictly speaking, but Kevin's going to have to overtake Matt to keep on moving forward. Kevin would like to chase down Stephen Hermetz and Tim Wire, who aren't that far ahead. Well, actually, now that I look at this, no, Kevin and Matt are racing for position, so these two won't want to give an inch, and Kevin shows it by sliding on the way over the crest. Let's see what they do with blue flags.
Yeah, so here comes race leader Jared Collins with decisions to make. I think he just holds up a little bit on the entry to the corner because you'd rather get a clean exit than be held up at the apex.
He's doing everything he can. If he had a light flashing button, he'd be doing it. Runs a little wide of the apex, though. He's going to be 2 wheels on the dirt almost. But catch a little side draft. But you could just see Polasek pulling up in the back. And it's always easier for the guys in second and third than it is for the guys in first.
Usually the case. Top 3 get through.
Colin's getting a much better draft here. He's going to try and make the move to the inside, but the lapper has decided to let him by on the outside. And they all get by. Matt resumes his battle with Kevin Glass. And I think Kyle Robertson and Michael Polasek in 4th and 5th have made up maybe 2 seconds on that deal. If they can get through clean.
Yeah, not sure. It doesn't look like Polasek's taken a whole lot of time versus Jared Collins, and then he's still got the traffic to work through. So it's the way and the nature of these cars racing each other. Also closing up 13th, TJ Yankee, Bowie Suin, Foadel Ridgely, Sebastian Day. Okay, no, that's closing up and then immediately changing as Bowie Suin is freight trained by Ridgely and Day.
Yeah, outbraked a little bit. Tough when you're out of position like this because you gotta push so hard to make spots up. And we're back with our leaders. Collins, Puckdell, Soto. Polasek and Robertson gonna have to pass that lap traffic in the twisty bits too. We see Polasek getting up right on the rear bumper of Matt McGee. Tough place to make a pass, but Polasek's going to do it up the inside. Gets a little bit of help from McGee, but Robertson gets held up. And that's not a place where you want to lose momentum in these cars.
Yeah, Robertson sort of needed to be a little bit closer to Polasek if he's going to follow directly in his tracks in this case, and they are not closing the top 3. Very competitive top 3 approaching. 10 minutes to go. Collins led all of the first stint, now leads now. With Ryan Puckdell just close behind. Puckdell seemed to maybe have a tyre advantage initially off the stops versus Collins and Soto. I'm not feeling that now. Soto incredibly close to Puckdell and to the leader.
Yeah, seems to have a little bit better braking going into one than both the guys ahead. Really clean or closes up going into the keyhole. Just probing. We've seen Joshua Soto win a lot of races over the years too. So I don't think that Michael Polasek's the only ones that can do it. I think Soto, back-to-back champion. 23, 24.
Well, that's Cameron Martineau erasure, isn't it?
Oh, you're right. 21, 22. I'll have to get the record books out to say for sure.
I don't think we've had a back-to-back champion in a bit. We had McCormick and Soto and Martineau.
Albert had 2, right? In the early days.
Oh dear. That's a little bit of a rub between Ridgely and Yankee.
That was tricky. It looked like Ridgely tried to go left, and then Yankee tried to close the door, and the two of them just clipped. Ridgely will carry on though, up to 14th now. And eyes forward. Ran as low as 25th off the start. Now back up to 14th. And our leaders are just all over each other, aren't they?
could scarcely be much closer than it is right now, with 8 minutes to go.
Critically, though, hard to overtake here. Only 1 or 2 spots where it works. And I think Soto touched the guardrail that time by. Meanwhile, back
And Logan Sennhauser comes across first. Johnny Sartorelli. Sartorelli gets to the inside. Either line can work, and around the outside, Sartorelli then drops back as Sennhauser takes the inside over the top of the hill. And here comes the group: Logan Sennhauser, Johnny Sartorelli, Andy Kosick. Cameron Sennhauser and Alex Harrison.
Yeah, the Sennhauser brothers.
Harrison was 1.2 seconds quicker last lap.
Yeah, he's flying.
And again.
Seems to have found a little something. Don't think Sennhauser would be fuel saving at this point. He's definitely off the pace. About 4 laps left to go at the line. These guys are getting antsy if they didn't fuel for 4.
Yeah, so with Jared Collins crossing the start-finish line, basically with 6 minutes to go, the lap times are comfortably over 90 seconds. I'd say it's definitely 4 laps to go right now. Half a second covers this top 3 of Jared Collins. Ryan Puchtel and Joshua Soto run so wide through turn 1. As Puchtel goes out through the grass, Joshua Soto follows him.
He's going to try out that late braking that he was testing earlier. Hard to make it work around the outside, though. He'll have the draft on the
Jared
straight.
Collins as Ryan Puchtel and Joshua Soto battle for second place side by side. Traffic, no issue for Jared Collins. For Soto and Puchtel, currently engaged too wide. It could be a little bit. Puchtel's looking for the inside at the end of the straight. Joshua Soto breaks pretty deep around the outside.
Ooh.
Can work and does work for Joshua Soto.
Really nicely balanced was the car through there. Oh, it wasn't there, though. Big slide over the crest. Soto's got to be stressing here. Doesn't want to lose too much time to Collins. Well judged, though. Doesn't lose too much time. Still 1.5 seconds. 1.5 seconds back. He's got to make it up.
Yeah, that's a pretty big gap. That's a pretty big gap for Jared Collins, to be honest, with approaching 3 laps to go.
Well, you got to think that Puchtel won't be helping him out with any bump drafts at this time.
Harrison's got by Cameron Sennhauser.
And if Polasek wants to make anything happen, he's going to have to find his way not just past any lap traffic, he'll have to find his way past Tim Wire, who's, like we said before, qualified 6th and is a lap down. Be a little tricky for him.
So now it's decision time for Ryan Puchtel. Am I fighting for second or am I fighting for the lead? And I think he's fighting for second.
He's doing a slingshot. He's doing both.
Okay, all right. Jared Collins with a 1.5 second lead at a time. It's going to be difficult to close that gap. So close over the top of the hill. Ryan Puchtel just clears Joshua Soto into second place.
Nice move there from Puchtel. 2 laps to go. Wonder if you prefer to be behind or in front. Soto runs a little wide.
I prefer to be as far in front as Jared Collins is coming into these closing laps.
Truly. Loses a little bit of time through the carousel that time, but not enough. Still critically outside of the draft range. But down almost 3/10 on Puckdall. Again, in the braking zone, it almost seems like they're catching a bit.
Almost assuredly 2 laps to go. Jared Collins leads by 1.5 seconds over the battle between Ryan Puckdall and Joshua Soto. Michael Poller second, Kyle Robertson 4th and 5th, not able to make any inroads on the podium positions since their pit stops. Ian Giebler runs a lonely 6th place, with Ryan Carwile in 7th. Cameron Sennhauser and Alex Harrison have still gone back and forth once or twice. Harrison was ahead. Cameron Sennhauser goes back in 8th. Logan Sennhauser leading a group in 10th. If he can hold on to that, we'll have a double Sennhauser top 10 for the brothers. Logan Sennhauser has got Johnny Sartorelli, Andrew Kosick, and Fuadal Ridgely behind him, which might be tough with 2 laps to go. Just catches a little bit of a slide, and you can see Sartorelli just a car length behind him, exiting the keyhole. So not a great place to struggle for traction and exit speed.
And they cross the start-finish line, 1 to go for our leader.
Yes, so the white flag waves for Jared Collins. He enters turn 1, still holding a 1.3 second lead. He's going to be aiming for everything. Ryan Puckdall's got a couple of car lengths on Joshua Soto. And Jared Collins just wants to make sure. You can still see Michael Polasek and Kyle Robertson back there. But they have faded a little bit late. And it's a victory lap of Mid-Ohio if Kevin Collins. So if Jared Collins can hold this together, I'm sure Kevin Collins will be happy too.
Yeah, I gotta think they're both feeling pretty good about it. And Collins is just locking it in, not giving anything away through the final few sectors here.
Yeah, qualified second, but will have the most laps led. Sennhauser versus Harrison for that 8th and 9th will go all the way down on the final lap here as well. Around the outside, Alex Harrison's got a little bit more momentum. The checkered flag is out, and it's ready for Jared Collins. What a race from him at Mid-Ohio in the Mazda MX-5 Cup car, leading from the front and taking the win. Ryan Puckdall in 2nd, Joshua Soto in 3rd. The championship leader, Michael Polasek, will bag a 4th place ahead of Kyle Robertson.
Robertson and Giebler crossed the line for 6th and 7th, but 8th place is having a heck of a battle. Sennhauser and Harrison just got together, and Harrison has unfortunately not been able to recover it, puts it into the inside wall. We'll see if we can get the replay of that. They're too wide and not a lot of places to go. Gets a little bit loose over the top and sends it wide. And then just gasses it up a little bit on the return. Either way, Cameron Sennhauser is going to take 8th. Alex Harrison is going to drop down. And we'll see Logan Sennhauser crossing the line in 9th place by the looks of things. Fuadal Ridgely will cross the line in 12th place. 10th place, rather, after a solid qualifying effort and a tough first turn. Sean Fritz across the line, lap down. Bowie Suin in 12th. Got Cossack coming across the line in 13th. and Sebastian Day 14th. Got TJ Yankee in. What do we got there?
16th, I think. That's almost
Well,
everyone. It's a quick lap around here.
On the DTM cars are all parking up for a photo on the front straight.
So that's everyone across the checkered flag. Jared Collins takes the win and breaks Michael Polasek hot streak in the ChampCar iRacing series. Ryan Puchtel and Joshua Soto join him on the podium. Polasek does get 4th place, with Robertson in 5th, and Ian Giebler, Ryan Carwile, Cameron and Logan Sennhauser 8th and 9th. Fidel Ridgely in 10th. Alex Harrison 11th, spinning on the curb, in the gravel and in the grass. Bowie Sewin in 12th, Andy Cossack 13th, and Sebastian Day, Bill Woods, TJ Yankee, Johnny Sartorelli, Sean Roberts, John Nicholford, and Kevin Collins 20th place. Brian Tidd, Tim Wire, Steve Hermé, Matt McGee, Kevin Glass, Aaron Reed, Carl Guillory, Cindy Pickett, Trenton McMillan, Jeffrey Rockwell 30th. And then I think the last scored cars are going to be Orlando Harrell and Sean Fritz. Aaron Brown and Scott Grinnell parked it earlier in the race after significant damage.
Wow, they got really spicy out there today. And it looks like there's a whole bunch of them that want to come and chat.
We've literally never been this popular. We ask for the podium and we get more. So let's go there. Joshua Soto finished 3rd. A lot of different strategy playing out, it looked like, in the pit stalls. Like, both sides of the car went up for race winner Jared. Ryan Puchtel, I think, went for the left sides. What did you go for?
I went for 0. I didn't know that tires would have been a good strategy. I wasn't paying attention to the amount of time. If I had gone back in time, I would have definitely taken some tires, but I just wasn't paying attention to the amount of time that we were going to be in the pits. So, but definitely the pit strategy could have been a lot better.
Pretty intense between the top 5. It's the kind of racing we come to expect when we roll out the Mazda MX-5.
Oh yeah, it's always great racing in the MX-5, especially on this track. This is one of my like preferred tracks. It has really good fighting here. Usually you're like around China Beach, and then some of the other parts. It's a very interesting track, and I just really enjoy the racing here in these cars.
As president of Antarctica, do you acknowledge the authority of Emperor Penguins?
Oh yeah, they're pretty cool, you know what I mean?
Unfortunately, I think I do know what you mean. Congratulations on the top 3. Great battle and bringing home a clean car, Josh.
Oh yeah, thank you very much.
You want to speak to second place Ryan Puchtel, Devin?
I bet you Puchtel was feeling a little chill in his veins when he saw the president of Antarctica running up behind him there in 3rd place, Josh Soto. Puchtel holds him off, though.
Yeah, it was a pretty exciting race. Was kind of hoping for the win when I jumped Polasek in the pits. Unfortunately, I made a mistake coming out of turn 1 towards the end of the race there, so that cost me.
Looked like there were a few different tire strategies that folks tried out. What did you strap on?
I took both lefts.
And how'd that feel for you?
Probably not as good as I was hoping. I was hoping for a little bit more pace towards the end of the race there.
It looked like it was going to be a pretty standard race. Polasek, and Soto kind of drafting and saving some fuel, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you and Collins really put on a bit of pace there at the end. Were you feeling good coming into this one?
Yeah, I felt probably more comfortable this race than a lot of the other ones. But yeah, Jared for sure had some really good pace. Same with Soto. So yeah, it was good driving with those guys.
Is this a specialty for you, you'd say, the Miata or the MX-5?
No, so far this season, MX-5 has been absolutely atrocious for me. This is like the best I've done this season in the MX-5. So I'm kind of broke that curse there.
That's what I was thinking. I noticed that you put it down as your favorite car in the series, but it hasn't been too kind for you. But quality race out there and a great result. Anyone you need to shout out today?
Yeah, just shout out to my sim racing team, SimCity Racing.
Good stuff.
Thank you, guys.
And now to the race winner. Feels rare these days in the ChampCar iRacing series that the driver who leads the most laps ends up being the winner. But today, Jared, that is you.
Hey guys. Heck yeah. Pumped. Cloud 9.
We're asking everyone, so we'll ask you, describe to us your tyre strategy that you ended up going with. It looked successful.
Yeah, I did it out. If you went full bore the entire race, I think it was like 21.9 seconds or 22 seconds per fuel. I think it was 20 seconds for 4 tires. And so, I was leading the race when it was pushing the whole time and just knew it was, I didn't save anything. So I knew it was going to take me longer to get gas than it was going to get tires. So just took the 4 and hit my number perfectly, leaving the pits. I think I had to get like 3.21 gallons, and I filled it up exactly 3.21 gallons. And yeah, I was on my merry way. I was extremely happy. I was pretty surprised. I thought, somebody from behind was going to jump me. I know they were lifting pretty early, especially at the long end of the backstretch. So I thought I would get undercut by people fuel saving, and that didn't happen. I was able to just maintain the lead and stay there.
Makes you the 3rd winner of the season in ChampCar iRacing series. And so that's surely a good feeling with just a couple of rounds to go, and then we get into the Endurance Championship.
Absolutely. I'm ecstatic. It's a great league. Good battles. I mean, Josh, Ryan, Polasek, they've been running hard all year. It's really pushed me to become a better driver. Just trying to keep up on pace with those guys. So putting in a lot of practice, looking at a lot of telemetry, seeing where I can pick up time. So I really appreciated race against those guys all year. It's definitely elevated my abilities, and to be able to take one home and come out on top, I can't even describe how happy I am.
Fantastic, and family in the race to share that with as well.
Yep. I didn't lap my dad, so that's a little disappointing, but maybe I'll get him. Maybe I'll lap him next time.
Well, wishing you the best of luck with that, and congratulations again, Jared.
Thank you very much. Have a good night, you guys.
There we go, Devin. A pretty interesting race, all things considered, from Mid-Ohio.
Yeah, they know how to put on a show for us out there in Ohio land. And Collins driving the Mott's car puts a new winner into the books for this season. So great show, and looking forward to the last 2 races of the season with just Brands Hatch in the GR86 and Road America coming up. So we're nearly wrapping up our sprint season here at Haynes.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been exciting. Great to see Jared Collins get to the top. It's an interesting strategy compared to what we've seen play out in times before. It's September 17th for the next round of the ChampCar iRacing series. Forum.champcar.org's got all the information, or if you find us on Discord as well, plenty of folks hanging about there, chatting before and after the races, etc. That is a look at our schedule. So yeah, a couple of weeks, 3 weeks till the next round. Hopefully everyone comes back and we'll have another ripping one, and then information soon to come out for the 4 team enduro races that are going to begin Saturday, November 1st. And that is absolute sort of, it's 4 from 4 knocking it out of the park, I reckon, with some of our favorite race tracks for endurance racing: Daytona International Speedway, Virginia International Raceway, Road America, and Sebring. That's a greatest hits compilation if ever there was one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what these drivers can do. Their natural environment is racing on teams, so we'll see what those teams look like once they get them all put together and go and share a car for some longer form races.
Can't wait. Been our pleasure to bring you live coverage from Mid-Ohio. David Haynes with Devin Peters and Michael Derby as the podiums. Jared Collins, Ryan Puchtel, and Joshua Soto celebrate. We'll see you again in 3 weeks' time.